the real question that I think everybody wants to know. I mean, we're a week away from this show ending, right?
Mhm.
And everybody wants to know who are they going to meet in that castle or house or whatever. And
Starts with a K.
so we got two for Kang. No, Lindsay, you were mentioning that you and I have the similar idea. I've mentioned this many times before, like that when I'm watching these shows or the movies, like anytime there's a mystery set up, I don't want to over expect, especially after I went down the crazy Ultron rabbit hole of on WandaVision, and then a couple weeks later, I had totally backed off of it, and I was like, you know what? As much as I want Ultron, we don't deserve Ultron because like the story hasn't set that up properly, right? And so I think the rules of Law and Order, right? Like that's the rules I always fall back on. Is I've seen that before as a joke that you can spoil any episode of Law and Order because it's always somebody they met in like the first act of the show, right? And that's generally what Marvel tries to do. They like. I love that the fans want things like they want the moon, right? They want everything. The fans want Kang, and just like they wanted Mephisto and they wanted Ultron, and all these
Kang
things.
connection is a lot stronger than the Mephisto connection. Just with the current Kang situation.
And he's cast.
There is
Andy's
With
cast.
the candy, because they made such a big deal about the candy.
Kablooey.
I don't know.
Kablooey.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like, do you think it has something to do with the
it's a new character called Captain Kablooey.
I don't know, but the point I was trying to make is you got to think about it from like the point of like a satisfying story perspective, which is like we've seen in this show that the only people that actually really impress Loki are other Lokis, right? Everybody else, I mean, yes, he does have a bromance with Mobius for sure.
Yeah.
But like, it's not going to be a Mobius. It's not going to be Hunter B-15.
Mobius is a Loki.
It's not going to be Ravonna. It's not going to be
Miss Minutes.
So it's either Miss Minutes, it's either Eugene, or it's another Loki.
Or it's something that you didn't guess too.
Who knew after all this time it was me?
Right, but what I'm saying is if I've got to make a prediction as to what Marvel usually delivers, like do you think, Frank, that they would logically drop a Kang on people who are not versed in the comics in the last episode of a show that's been 5 episodes with no Kang at all?
The only way that Marvel would do that is if the entire episode was dedicated to Kang.
I think it's a variant. I'm not sold on if it's a Tom Hiddleston Loki, which I would be totally happy with. I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Or it could be like a Sylvie variant. Maybe that's why she's special. Or maybe Mobius, Owen Wilson's character, is actually Loki or something like that. So, but I do think
I didn't even think about this as a Sylvie card, but you could totally pull like
the original Enchantress versus
there you go.
Enchantress.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's not the only one. Maybe there's another one. Still a Loki variant.
Tom Hiddleston is Thor because he tried out for Thor originally.
Yeah, I mean,
the boastful Loki had the hammer.
Just from like a fan perspective, I would like to see him as Thor. That would be cool.
Yeah. I have seen theories that suggest that there is a version of Loki in the comics called God of Stories, I believe, and so if the House of Ideas is actually the place that they're going, which is the center of all reality and all stories come from that place, then
should make sense.
Loki, God of Stories, would kind of make sense, like
that would be the perfect Loki variant.
Yeah, that's a bigger thing in the mythology too, just that he is a storyteller. That's like his actual power in mythology. And that was like classic Loki's power too, like with all the projections, is tricking people and telling stories.
Well,
what if it's just Kevin Feige just like chilling in the field?
Collecting money, signing contracts.
Just like hanging out.
Awesome.
Maybe he like transforms into Loki.
He's using Amy Pascal as an ottoman.